Welcome back to the channel. My name is Stephen Nguyen. I'm a pharmacist and I own 52 units of real estate. I had a really interesting comment which I want to share and then give my analysis of it because I thought it was actually pretty sound advice. And it was related to a video where I asked, should I sell all my real estate and then basically use that money, which is roughly $5 million dollars after taxes, probably $4 million, dollars, to dump it in index funds and then basically just take it easy and relax, right? And then the advice that this person gave was don't fix what ain't broke, right? I built up a $6 million net worth using estate. That is skill. It's not luck. So it's a golden goose, and don't kill your golden goose, right? And basically, he's suggesting keep the real estate portfolio, and you want to expand it, right? Keep on buying cash flowing properties in growing markets, and then use that cash flow to basically dump it into index funds to hedge. And kind of the ideal split would be a 70% real estate net worth versus 30% index funds, right? So, and then here, start thinking bigger, right? Like basically, I bought a 20 unit apartment complex, a 26 unit apartment complex that are successful in Oklahoma. He suggested that I have a skill now to raise money, be a syndicator, to buy larger properties like 100 unit, 200 units. You have economies of scale. I have property management there. I have a team there already. And basically, the goal is to leverage what's working already for me, which is real estate, and then just building upon that, right? So I have single family homes in California that I can build on. I have single family homes in Alabama I can build on. I can build on to Oklahoma where I own apartments, and basically use my index funds as safeguard for liquidity, right? And then scaling up using a syndication model. Uh, and for me, it was very interesting to hear because when I first started off, I had no interest in the syndication model. Um, I still didn't really have much interest as well because most syndications, um, overpromise, underdeliver, and it just kind of got me thinking too, like, like maybe I should reconsider doing it again, right? Like I have been thinking about becoming a real estate broker, and I don't know, is that the best use of my time? Because that's almost like starting over, right? Even though I own real estate, becoming a real estate broker or agent, you're kind of starting from scratch ish. My knowledge base is obviously higher. Versus if I'm a syndicator, it's a different business model, but it's basically buying apartments. And I know how to underwrite apartments. I know how to manage apartments. I know how to renovate apartments. I know how to, um, do direct mail. But part of my weakness is being able to raise money, right? So either A, I can start my own syndication, or B, join a syndication where I can focus on my strengths, which would be, I can do direct mail, I can underwrite deals, and I know how to negotiate. Those are probably my skill set. So, I can either take that skill set, join an existing syndication, and or just start my own. So, it got me really thinking, right? Like, I think I don't know what's best for my skill set. Obviously, being a broker, it just requires me, myself, and I, right? I just can be my own broker and then buy and sell real estate as needed, and organically scale. Or I don't have to. Versus being a syndicator, you definitely need a team, right? You can't do that alone, and it's really scalable and there's economies of scale with it because, like you said, I already have property management there. I have a general contractor team there. I know the market pretty well, so should I just keep on scaling that way? So it got me really thinking, like, what's a better option? And I want your guys' opinion and feedback. Like, should I go down the real estate broker route, or should I go down the real estate syndicator route, or do both? Right? Like, to be honest, it's probably not hard to become a real estate broker. If you have the experience in that syndication, I already have the skill set as well. Like I said, I just lack raising the money and maybe doing the formations. But I know a lot of attorneys who specialize in syndication model and writing everything up, right? So, for me, the thought of managing other people's money is a fear point of mine, and it might just be a limiting belief because I'm more afraid to lose other people's money versus my own, right? Like I don't care if I lose $100,000, but if my investors lost $100,000, I'd feel bad, and that'd keep me up, right? And once again, this could be a limiting belief because my money is finite, and if you want to scale, you want to do a syndication model. And another thing I don't like about syndications is, I mean, we all see it in the news where some syndications run like a Ponzi or pyramid scheme, where they'll raise money for another deal and use that money to basically pay out the investors from the last deal because it's negative cash flow. And syndication, it's very interesting because like when you're buying large deals, and it's Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, non-recourse debt. So what non-recourse means is that if I walk away from the deal, and I file bankruptcy, the lender cannot go after me personally, and they just take the property, right? Um, but and this typically happens in larger multifamily, right? Like you're talking 100, 200, 300, 400, 500 units, right? All the ones that I bought are like 20 to 30 units, and those are recourse debt. So recourse debt means that if I were to file bankruptcy, they would come after my other properties, right? So this is what a lot of syndicators function, and a lot of syndicators, they're incentivized to basically want to sell and buy deals constantly because they make the 1% asset acquisition fee, 1% disposition fee, 1% um, what is it, refinance fee. They get fees on top in terms of like asset management. So they just live off the fees, and I didn't really like that model. So it's got me interested. So maybe I will maybe invest in a syndicator and see what it's like as a limited partner, or I could try to become a partner in a syndication and just offer the skill of underwriting, knowing the market, and finding off-market deals, right, and negotiations. So it's got me thinking a little bit, right? Like what route is better to take? And I'm totally fine too because I've always been the type of like, well, I just can scale myself. Like I don't care to be worth a lot of money and to have a huge empire. One could argue I have a pretty decent real estate empire as is. And knowing me, I know my quality of life won't necessarily improve if I do it. But obviously, if I can make more money, by becoming a real estate broker, which is why I thought about it, because I'm like, dude, I could sell a new home in my community that I live in. They get paid $30,000, and you don't do much. It's the Lennar agent does all the work. I literally just bring people there. It's pretty easy to do the deal, but to get customers is hard. And a syndication model, like with interest rates being this high, it's not as favorable. So a lot of syndicators are either doing creative finance, or they're assuming the current loan, right, and having to potentially put a larger down payment down. So interested to see. Maybe I will network with some syndicators and see what's like. But obviously, a lot of syndicators are not as transparent as like me. I'm like so honest to a fault, for better for worse, because I just say the truth as is. I don't sugarcoat anything, right? I tell you the good, the bad, the ugly, the great. Nothing's hidden. So yeah, thought it was a really interesting question. Really like the insight. I really like the 70-30 split. My net worth is more heavily geared towards real estate right now because I know real estate the best, and it's more under my control. It's more active. But the index fund is very passive. I don't really know it that much, but I just know if I buy index funds consistently in dollar cost average, it'll make money over time. So I do like that 70-30 split, and I do am big on like, hey, like this goes back to shiny object syndrome. Like, just continue building upon what you're already good at, right? And this is why this message resonated with me. I already own apartments in Oklahoma. It's not, if I were to have like another 20, 30 unit apartment complex, it doesn't take that much more time from me once it's stabilized, right? Like, if I renovate it, it's stabilized, it's not that much work for me, like being honest, right? Um, Versus, like if I kind of like did something different, like self storage or mobile home park again. It's a lot more active, and it's not scaling what I already do, right? So like, do I want to go down that route? Like, do I want to syndicate? Do I want to become a broker? Do I just buy more apartments in Oklahoma myself? Should I buy single family new construction in Huntsville, Alabama, which is really easy? Like, I'm really at an interesting pivot point as I've been pausing for a while and rebuilding my foundation. So I would love to hear you guys' input and feedback. To give me a second, third, fourth, fifth opinion. Any case, let me know any comments and questions down below. Hopefully you found value from this. And I hope to see you in the next one. Like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much.